I need you to be stocking up right now. I need you to go out and get the things you need right now. Get enough stuff to last you 10 days to a month. Get your water, get your medications, get your food. Have a way to stay warm because you're probably going to lose power in the midst of all of these things. What's up, fam? Welcome into the channel. So it's a lot happening, and this is world news. And we know what happens around the world definitely has the possibility to get over here, and it does affect us. And considering we are in this particular war, is going to affect us. We are going to feel the fallout from it. And starting off, I'm going to say this video is not so you can live in fear, but you can live in preparedness in knowing that you have done all you can do. Everything else, leave it to God. Let's get into what exactly is going on and why a lot of countries, even though they say, they're not afraid of Russia, they are reacting to something as if it is possible. And it is possible. Nothing is off the table. And we keep inching closer and closer to World War III by the things that we, the U.S., do. The blowback is going to be major eventually. So let me share this out. Thank y'all for being here. This will not be a long video, I promise you that. So, like I said, a lot is happening. You have Sweden handing out these pamphlets right here to their citizens, showing them how they can hopefully survive whatever happens with this fallout. So let me just get into the story and not do too much ad-libbing of it. Okay, so Germany's World War III preparation plans have been revealed in a 1,000-page secret document, not secret anymore, dubbed Operation Deutschland. It comes after Nordic citizens were told to prepare for war, and they were handed chilling survival guides on Monday as tensions between Russia and Ukraine boil over. Now, do you think that the United States would give us a pamphlet on how to prepare for war, how to survive? Would they even tell us, or we would just wake up to situations already happening? So these are German soldiers. So NATO troops are at 800,000 military protection for key buildings. I told you in a previous video today that the U.S. and other countries shut down, closed their embassies, and are basically bracing for the fallout of what took place with Ukraine sending those U.S. missiles into the middle of Russia. And Russia's saying, oh, okay, so that's what you gonna do? That's how you gonna do me? Okay. Told y'all to stay out of it, meaning the U.S. Okay, so Germany is ramping up its national security as fears loom that Vladimir Putin's bloody war in Ukraine may develop into a worldwide inferno. In recent weeks, North Korea has sent thousands of troops to support Vladimir Putin, and on Tuesday in battle, Kyiv unleashed its first long-range missile into Russia by way of U.S. Okay, so fears of war spilling over the national borders has now been sparked, with Germany taking after the Nordic countries in ramping up precautionary measures. German armed forces have begun implementing Operation Deutschland, which has been agreed amongst politicians and contains a chilling 1,000-page strategy plan. According to top secret papers revealed specific buildings and infrastructure facilities that need specific protection in an emergency for military reasons. And I would think that power would be one of those buildings, as well as any food that they have stockpiled somewhere. The report also contains plans on how Germany would proceed in the event of some kind of threat to defense or even tensions beforehand, potentially alluding to Russia's war against Ukraine. A first meeting has even taken place in the Hamburg Chamber of Commerce, where specific companies were addressed directly after the report revealed the vulnerable professions in the face of the war. Attendees were advised on striving for self-sufficiency through installing their own diesel generator or even wind turbine, because they know they're going to be off grid. That is the first thing they try to take out. Guidance regarding truck driving was given to a lieutenant who said that for every 100 employees, at least 5 additional truck drivers should be trained that don't need to be trained. He chillingly explained 70% of all trucks on Germany's roads are driven by Eastern Europeans. If there is a war there, where will these people be? Managing director of the Chamber of Commerce earlier warned, we must raise awareness of how important a well-prepared and resilient economy is for Germany's civil and military defense. Plans have been built in Germany across the year, with this defense ministry confirming in July that emergency plans to move hundreds of thousands of NATO troops in the event of a war with Russia. Now, mind you, this is not the first time that Germany has warned their citizens to stock up on food and prepare, and even had a list of things that they should be getting. I did a video on that in 2022 when it happened. This was in response to the media report that preparations were intensifying along the West, heightening tensions with Vladimir Putin. It was also suggested that Berlin was preparing to move 200,000 vehicles as well as 800,000 NATO troops across its territory if the situation with Russia turned to all-out war. News of the plan comes after millions of pamphlets landed in Swedish homes titled, "If Crisis or War Comes." That's the name of the pamphlet that that man was holding that I just showed y'all. And that was on Monday, while other nations issued their own chilling advice to fearful citizens. Stockholm has warned of what they call the worsening security situation, otherwise known as Russia's bloody invasion of Ukraine, and urged Swedes to prepare for conflict. Meanwhile, neighboring Finland have published its own chilling advice online to prepare for incidents in crisis. This is the pamphlet right here. And their Minister for Civil Defense is showing, you know, the new version of the preparedness booklet, "If Crisis or War Comes." This is what it's saying. To all residents of Sweden, we live in uncertain times. Armed conflicts are currently being waged in our corner of the world. Terrorism, cyber attacks, and disinformation campaigns are being used to undermine and influence us. To resist, to resist these threats, we must stand united. If Sweden is attacked, everyone must do their part to defend Sweden's independence and our democracy. We build resilience every day together with our loved ones, colleagues, friends, and neighbors. In this brochure, you will learn how to prepare for and act in case of crisis or war. You are part of Sweden's overall emergency preparedness. I wonder if we would have a booklet for people. Would the United States have a booklet for people? I have no idea. Okay, so it says Norwegians also received the pamphlet urging residents to know how to manage on their own. You need to know how to manage on your own for a week, it says, in the event of extreme weather or war. Sweden and Finland recently gave up neutrality to join NATO after witnessing the atrocities of Putin. against Ukraine since 2022. Norway was a founding member of the Western Defense Alliance. On the other hand, nuclear fears have spilled over after Russia was forced to admit that it was struck by Ukraine with American ATACMS missiles overnight. I spoke about that in my previous video. Go back and check that out, please. Just days after the U.S. approved Ukrainian use of its far-reaching rockets, Kyiv's forces used them to blitz a military depot storing ammunition and anti-aircraft missiles. It was the first time ever that in battle Kyiv was able to unleash the ballistic rockets on Russian soil. As the world today marks 1,000 days of Putin's bloody and illegal war, they say. Reports surfaced on Tuesday morning about the missile strike, with a Ukrainian defense source telling RBC that they had indeed used those ATACMS rockets. The Russian Defense Ministry later confirmed the hit, saying missiles supplied by the U.S. were used to target the ammo arsenal in, I think it's Bryansk. Fragments of one of the damaged rockets landed on the technical territory of the military facility and sparked a fire. Russia had to begrudgingly concede and say that this actually took place, because, you know, they don't claim anything that happened, but they had no choice. So top brass claimed they successfully shot down 5 and damaged 1 more. These are Polish soldiers right here. French soldiers from 93rd Mountain Artillery Regiment operate equipment artillery. And that's the aftermath. That's a residential building that you're looking at right there. Let's see, go over to the other one. Germans have put on they were put on high alert for potential World War III. And this article came from MSN just a few hours ago. Scenario with Russia following renewed threats of a nuclear strike with Vladimir Putin. The situation has escalated after U.S. President Joe Biden authorized Ukraine to use long-range missiles against Russia, which Moscow claims has already targeted a weapons warehouse. Putin warned back in September that if the Western countries allow Ukraine to strike deep into or inside Russia with longer range weapons, it will mean that NATO countries, the US and European countries, are at war with Russia. So he's basically saying we all can get it. A German defense minister, Boris, has since stated that Russia poses not just a military, but also a hybrid threat and that Europe needs to adopt a comprehensive approach to defense. Germany's foreign minister has also pledged that the country will not be intimidated by Putin, following revelations that Germany would serve as a NATO staging ground should the conflict escalate further. Let's see. According to that 1,000-page document titled Operation Plan Deutschland, Germany would host hundreds of thousands of troops from NATO countries and act as a logistics hub for dispatching military equipment, food, and medicine to the front lines. The German army is also advising civilians and businesses on how to safeguard infrastructure and prepare to defend the country against potential sabotage, drone attacks, and spying operations. Germany is setting crisis plans into motion, assigning responsibilities for emergency actions and creating diesel stockpiles, following the lead of Scandinavian nations. Defense Minister Pistorius announced on Tuesday that officials suspect sabotage caused damage to 2 undersea data cables in the ballistic sea, one terminating in Germany. Although evidence is yet to be found. I don't know if y'all remember when that happened some months ago, where the underground cables were mysteriously damaged and it affected Germany. And they were thinking that Russia did it, but like I said, they haven't found that evidence yet. So the Sea Lion, one cable stretching nearly 1,200 kilometers from Helsinki to Rostock, and another cable linking Lithuania and Sweden were both found damaged on Monday. Now, this just happened. Mr. Pistorius highlighted the incident as a very clear sign that something is afoot. He dismissed accidental causes at the EU defense ministers meeting, stating no one believes these cables were severed, by mistake. And I also don't want to believe versions that it was anchors that by chance caused damage to those cables. It is very ironic. So we have to state without knowing in concrete terms who it came from, that this is a hybrid action. And we also have to assume, without already knowing it, obviously, that this is sabotage. Again, y'all. Let's see. I gotta skip this ad. I hate to skip ads, but wait a minute. Oh, it's on mute. Knocking out communications is one of the first acts of war. They don't want you to be able to communicate. They don't want you to be able to operate the way you should be operating in order to defend yourself. So I don't think that that was a coincidence, as Miss Nene Leakes would say. Was it a coincidence? And yes, if you have not seen the previous video I put out, I spoke about Putin after this took place on Monday with the missiles hitting the inside of Russia. He said, okay, so that means NATO is involved because those missiles came from the US, which is a part of NATO. So that means, hey, we're going to be at war with the West. And I'm going to lower the bar for what I'm going to do with these nuclear missiles. And if you don't know, because you haven't been watching the news because you don't want to watch the news, North Korea and Russia have been buddying up for a while now. Kim Jong-un and Vladimir have become besties, and they made a pledge to each other. If I am in trouble, you help me. If you are in trouble, I help you. And so that was, months ago. And then fast forward, North Korea sent in all of those troops to Russia to be trained to fight on the ground. Now, when it first happened and they said, oh, North Korea sent troops in, it was like, well, they, don't have any training and all this, that, and the third. So nobody was really sweating it. But then when they realized, oh, wait, Russian military is training North Korea troops and giving them weapons to fight on the ground. So now everybody has that concern as well. Oh my gosh, these commercials. So, as per usual, they are trying to downplay a lot of this. Um, well, it's linked to the weather and all of that. That may be so, but that is not why they handed them out. They handed them out because of the situation that is taking place right now, and it was something else because the changing of the throne. I don't know. I always say that when it's time for me to talk about Trump and Biden exchanging. I mean, I did a video. This was in 2022 where I did a video talking about what they were saying you need to have. And here is my video right here. And we had just moved into this house. So my pantry was just becoming a pantry. My phone is dying. I have it. This is so important, y'all. I had to plug my phone up while I'm recording this. Okay. I'm about to go to the store. I already know where I'm weak. If you know where you're weak in your pantry, fix it. I know I'll be telling y'all, prep up, do it at your own pace. But y'all got to pick up the pace if you have not. Okay, I'm not trying to scare you, but you need to get everything your house needs: water, food, lights, whatever you need. Hold on. You can see I'm in my prep room. I got food everywhere. I was already trying to set this up, see what I have, see what I need to get, but I got to pick up the pace myself. That's why I'm telling y'all to pick up the pace. Okay? So I can show you right here. Okay? It says Germans told to stockpile food and water for civil defense. I'm going to read some of it to you. I'm not going to make this a long video because it's late. It's 9 o'clock, okay? Y'all know I'm in the mountains. So I'm about to make a 25, 30-minute drive. It's not the time. This is not the time. Okay. Important. For the first time since the Cold War, the German government is advising citizens to stockpile food and water for use in a national emergency. Whatever is in there, if you can afford to get it, go and get it. That's all I want to say on that. Go on and get it. Go on and get it. Can't nobody say it any more better than that. So, hey, y'all. Hey, Item. That's it for this video, y'all. Definitely, if you have not started, I'm not as intense as I was in 2022. I'm a little more laid back now. Okay, I ain't got time for all that heart palpitations and all that stuff, even though I do have some chest pains today, but it's not related to this at all. Okay. And some of y'all have seen this video before, but a lot of you guys are new. So I'm going to share this. That way, if you don't want to go back to that particular video, you don't have to.
You are entering one of the most secret places on Earth. It's a bunker built into a hollowed out mountain in Colorado. It's just one of the top secret shelters where 7,000 Americans will go to in the event of nuclear annihilation. The government built more than 100 of these bunkers and relocation facilities around the country. There's no room for families. Wives, children not included. The plans to get a small number of government officials out of Washington, out of major cities, and into these bunkers around the country. And it doesn't include families. Gary Graff is the author of the new book, Raven Rock, the U.S. government's secret plan to save itself while the rest of us die. The title comes from this place, Raven Rock Mountain, a super secret bunker in Pennsylvania where Pentagon brass will relocate in a nuclear war. How do you get on this list? And who's on it? Well, so the list includes your high-ranking government officials, your cap.
And don't think that this place is not being used. It is still being used. The last time that I know of that it was used, of course, was 9/11. But y'all, they're going to be safe. We're going to be out here with this, you know.
Leaders, your congressional leadership, members of the Supreme Court, as well as, you know, top aides, you know, White House staff. Some people are on the elite list by accident. The bunker at Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado has its own Subway sandwich shop. If you just happen at the time of the apocalypse to be the person manning the cash register at the Subway, you're going to be the only fast food employee in America who survives the nuclear war. Another bunker is buried in Virginia at a place called Mount Weather. This is the Mount Weather facility about 60 miles west of Washington, D.C. And it looks like a typical secure government facility. It is surrounded by a chain link fence with a barbed wire at the top, and they don't like visitors. Okay. For decades, another secret bunker was located beneath Greenbrier, a luxury resort in West Virginia. It's now a museum. Behind this 25-ton glass door was a shelter for 400 government officials.
I promise you, it is not a museum. If they need to open that back up for any situation, they are going to open it up. And isn't it amazing that they are in this office and they're making all these different policies and passing all these different laws that affect all of us, but they will be safe. Not even their family is going to be safe.
Who could live for 60 days in dorms like this one. The bunker system has been used only once, on 9/11. On 9/11, helicopters swooped in here to the Capitol and evacuated the congressional leadership as well as officials from across Washington out into these mountain bunkers around the country. Let's hope they're never needed again.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Welcome back to Tommy Bites.
Get your bug out bags together, okay? I did this video with some stuff that my husband had in his bug out bag.
TV.
Hold on. Fast forward.
Bug out bag. This is my husband's bug out bag. We all have one of the subscribers said to me that I needed to look for that. And I didn't realize that he already had some in his bag, but I am gonna get some more of these. I think I know where he got these from. And it's the freeze-dried scrambled eggs with bacon pre-cooked. Let's say He's a trucker, y'all. So, of course, he has his Bible. He has his first aid kit. He has some butane for his butane stove. I don't have his butane stove here. This is the little electric one that you have to plug up, but he has a butane one in his truck because the electric one was way too big to put in his truck. And then he has a fire starter here.
And that's the fire starter that I used when I went on my first camping trip alone. And I was determined I was going to get that fire started. It took me a minute, but I striked it up and I had that fire going.
And he has a straw thing here, some zip ties.
Life straw.
I think I'm gonna wait for him to do the video so he can go over everything that's in his bag. So I'm just gonna do what's on top and say what's underneath. And first aid stuff, like I said, he has a solar panel thing here. Yeah. And then down here, this is our lanterns. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. I can't get it. There we go. And that goes up pretty bright, as you can see. And then you got this one here. I know I can't do it one hand because you got to twist it, but it's a light underneath that. And trying not to get these old toes up in here. This is the batteries. I'm going to put that back on. Tighten that back up. So this one, see if you can see it do. This slides open like this. And button here. I don't know if his batteries are working. And they are. And that's your little light.
A prep is nothing if it don't work, right? Check your preps.
Right there. Oh, there's some levels to this thing. Okay. Just shut back up. And y'all, this is a holster. And you know what goes in a holster. I'm not showing that right now. And we have plenty of those. So underneath this stuff in here, I think he has like a sleeping bag, a tarp, something to keep him warm. You know, one of those little blankets that can keep you warm. I can't go in all of this stuff. He's gonna be like, why are you in my stuff? But I'm gonna see if I can get him to do a video.
But anyway, y'all, that's just a little, show for you. Get your go bag together. You don't have to have a military bag. He was military, but just get a book bag, okay? And everybody in your home should have something in it. And if one person's carrying this, the other person don't need to be carrying the same thing. The other person need to be carrying something totally different that y'all all can use, of course, but definitely stuff for yourself that you personally can use. And make sure that you have hygiene items in there as well. Beef, okay, yeah. Cities underground for elite and everything we can imagine. Well, a lot of elite are building their own compounds because they don't want to be around nobody else. Okay, they too rich for that. They too wealthy for that. Mark is building that whole, he bought up a bunch of land. Well, a lot of celebrities brought up a bunch of land in Hawaii, especially when that fire mysteriously took place and burnt a lot of properties. He has a whole compound that he built there. So yeah, they all have bunkers. I've seen some of those bunkers. If you ever go on, maybe I'll do a video on that and show a bunch of different bunkers by the rich. Well, not even the rich, the filthy, wealthy people. They have pools, they have bowling alleys, they have everything they will need for extracurricular activities. They have, all these commercial grade refrigerators and huge kitchen and swimming pools, all that stuff. Only thing's missing is you can't get that sunlight. They had everything. So if you think the wealthy are not preparing for something, oh yeah, sure, they are. They are. While we be out here scrambling and running to Sam's and throwing tissue and all that stuff in our cart, these people sitting back living in. You saw that movie that Barack Obama them put out, and the bunker that person had at their house towards the end of that movie. I can't think of the name of it. I did a video on it, but I can't think of the name of it. What's the name of that movie? It was on Netflix or something. But yeah, they have the bunkers, okay? They have the monitors. Every part of their property is covered so they can see you coming every which way but loose. What's the name of that movie, y'all? I can't think of it. I did a whole video on that movie and can't think of that name of that movie. But everything was hacked, and Elon Musk was not a fan of that movie because they used his vehicles. You are so welcome, Bud Seeker. You say you've been thinking about the movie 2012. Yeah, they play that all the time, but I can't think of that movie. That Leave the World Behind. Thank you, Sam. Leave the World Behind. It's in my title if you want to go look at that video. But yeah, and my thoughts on that movie. That was crazy. That was crazy. But like I said, your nice neighbors are not going to be nice. They're going to be nasty neighbors, okay? Nice Nancy going to be nasty Nancy. Don't come on my property. Don't come on my property. Talking about you want to borrow some sugar. You should have already had your sugar. You should have been stockpiling your sugar. I'm just telling you, people have a whole different mindset when they know it's what they're thinking is the end of the world. We're under attack, which is what was happening. Cyber, power outage, planes dropping from the sky because they don't have navigation and they don't have systems and everything just went out. So yeah, definitely. Live alone in Chicago. I have children who say what they say. Hey, if it ain't Miss Momo, thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Unique Prepper, leave the world behind. Thank you, babe. Said hey to everybody. If I missed you, I do apologize. It's not intentional at all, but I'm about to go. Y'all take care, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel. Things are rough out there. People's patience is this short, okay? And it's the holiday season. Hold on to your purses. Don't go in the store and your purse is open. Close your purse, zip it up, or don't take it, okay? Because a few things can happen. It can get snatched. And you snatched down to the ground, now you hurt. Or as I saw today when I walked in Sam's Club, they got sitting right in the front where you can pick up one of those little cardboards because you know they ain't gonna keep it up there because people steal it. And you can take it to the register and buy you. It comes with maybe 6 or 8 air tags, and that's the new way people track you now too. They ain't just tracking they personable stuff; they tracking you. They drop it right in your bag and see where you go home to. And then they're going to watch your routine. They're going to see when you coming. If you coming and going on a regular basis around the same time and you getting them groceries out your car because everybody hurting on buying food, they may take your food. They might not steal it from you at the store, but they may follow you home and do it. Because I remember just a year or two ago, that's what was happening. People were being followed home and robbed of their groceries. It's crazy out here. So protect yourself, people. Okay. Oh, bunker. Okay. Well, be safe, Amarillo. Okay. Be safe. Carry your pepper spray or whatever with you if you're doing that kind of stuff. So y'all take care. Love you guys so very much. Thank you for becoming a part of the family. If you have not, what the heck y'all waiting on? I mean, I'm trying my best to give y'all all the news that you can use. And I know it may be overwhelming at times, but please don't feel overwhelmed. And if you do feel overwhelmed, push away from, like you push away from the table when you just full at Thanksgiving. Push away, take a break, and then come back. Don't go away too long, then come back. Okay, take that mental break. Don't allow the world to run your life. You still must keep living. For every breath that God has given you, you have to keep living and live the best God-filled life that you possibly can. Okay, that's all you can do in today's world, because let me tell you, you get it from every angle. Bye, y'all. Take care. I love you, but God truly loves you more. He created only one you. Please be the very best you that you can be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Okay. Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on Tommy Bites Homestead.